Arsenal 3, Burnley 1. Yes, people, welcome back to another Arsenal match action. Routine 3 points, to be honest. It's Burnley at home. It's not a game you should really be struggling in. Let's be completely honest with it, guys. This is one of those banker 3 points. Just like the Lutons, just like the Sheffield Uniteds at home. You just get through this game, take your 3 points and move on. And we did exactly that today. Obviously, there was a scare with the fact that Burnley drew level 1-1. For a poorly defended goal, especially from Tommy. I don't know what he was thinking, to be fair. Just shield that one out or clear it if the balls are going to travel out. Kolyosha was a problem all day long. And then obviously we went down to 10 men as well. But thankfully, the scoreline was 3-1 by that point. So even despite the fact we had 10 men, I still felt comfortable we're going to basically grind out this victory at that point because Burnley do never really look like scoring goals, to be honest with you guys. So yeah, overall, decent performance. Get the 3 points. Job done. We move on now to the international break. And after that, we've got Brentford, we've got Wolves, we've got a few tough games coming up. But we can put our feet up now. We can relax. We've overtaken Tottenham in the table as well, due to the fact that they lost early today to Wolves. And a really good game for us to watch. And now we watch Man City go to Chelsea tomorrow, which will be a tough game for them, hopefully, given that we drew at Chelsea and they played very well there. So I'm looking good, guys. I'm happy with how it's turned out overall. How long may it continue? If I review this game overall, yeah, if we look at the start from this football match, and once again, I made this point before about Arsenal. We start games too slowly this season, way too slow. It took us till the 6 minutes to get a goal. And before then, we were having chances. Make no mistake about it. We were getting chances, but we weren't peppering their goal. It was just passing in dangerous areas rather than creating chances. I saw this stat the other day, actually. And it said, for every Premier League team, what is the combined XG in their games? The combined XG means XG from them and XG in their opponents. Now, Arsenal's bottom in that table, meaning that in games Arsenal played in the Premier League this season, the XG's been the fewest across both teams. That means Arsenal one of the more boring teams to watch, to be honest with you guys. And I do think that's the case. Many people have said that Arsenal got worse this season. I don't think we've got worse. I just think we've turned more boring. And when I say more boring, we've tried to control matches too much. We've been too we've tried to improve so much defensively that we've taken away too much from our attack now. And it means that we're just very controlled in matches. We haven't scored in the opening 15 minutes in any Premier League match so far. And it's the 12th match so far. We don't fly out the blocks quickly anymore. We don't fly out the traps. Last season, we'd start games on fire. Like, I remember us scoring early goals in many Premier League games. You look at the Liverpool game at home, for example. Martinelli scores after a minute. But nowadays, we don't score early anymore. We start slow. We kind of like feel our way into matches. And we had a few chances, don't get me wrong. Sancar had a really good half chance. Trossard had a good half chance. But then when that goal came, it was a massive weight lift off our shoulders because Burnley were actually defending quite well, to be fair to them. Defending really well in their own 18-yard box. But that goal, brilliant header from Saka cross goal. Then Trossard, brave to get his head on the end of it, crashes into the post at the same time, but gave us the goal, which was perfectly what we needed. Coming out into the second half, I thought, okay, let's build on that now. They always say a goal just for half time is crushing for the opponent. It gives you all the confidence you need. But we didn't. We started a bit slow. Kolyosha, as I said, for Burnley, had a really good game overall, I thought. And they got their goal back. And as I said, it was bad defending from Tomiyasu. I mean, he's done the hard part, which is getting in front of the man and the ball's there. You either shield that out for a goal kick or you clear it away. You can't do what you do, which is just trying to hold it back, hoping that the ball's going to travel out of play because the ball's too slow for that. Just kick it out for a throw-in. It's not the end of the world. Or pass it back to David Rice so he can boot it away. You don't need to keep shielding it, hoping it goes out for a goal kick because he got robbed there. And many will say it's a foul. Look, I think it's 50-50. I think if the referee had given a foul, VAR would not have overturned it. The referee didn't give it as a foul, so VAR didn't overturn it. Do you get what I mean? It was one of those grey areas. I think, to be fair, it could have been a foul, could have not been a foul. Thankfully, it didn't cost us, to be honest. We went down the other end literally like 2 minutes later, and Saliba scored. And thank God we cashed in on these corners because how many corners do we get and we don't cash in on them, man? How many corners? I feel like we're always getting set pieces nowadays. And yes, we've got one of the best set piece records in the Premier League. But even the game against Newcastle last weekend, how many set pieces did we have against Newcastle? And we could not cash in on any of them. It was so annoying. And again, today we had so many set pieces. Thankfully, we made the most of them now. Scored 2 goals from set pieces. The Williams Saliba one, fantastic. Got ahead of the goalkeeper, nodded it in, routine goal. The ball was basically in the net before he headed it. It was that close to goal. Then there's Zinchenko one. Oof. Superb goal, man. I think it was Saliba's header, actually. It came off the bar in the first place. But it fell to Zinchenko. Scissor kicked it in the air. Superb finish into the top corner. And that was 3-1. After that, the game was basically wrapped up. Vieira got a red card. And look, I will say this. Red cards are becoming more and more... What's the word? They become more and more evident in this day and age nowadays. I feel like everyone's getting a red card in this day and age with football. I think the thresholds definitely decrease for what a red card is. But in this day and age, it probably is a red card. Let's be real. It's not malicious because I don't think Vieira is that malicious type of player. He's a very tippy-tappy, soft player. So I don't think he'd be flying into challenges like that. But in this day and age, it's one of those things, right? Studs are showing it's high on the leg. And he had enough time to judge it. So, yeah, I think the red card was a correct decision, in my opinion. It was unfortunate, but it's a correct decision in my eyes for it to be a red card. And look, he'll be missing for 3 games now. Thankfully, it's Vieira missing and not like an Odegaard or someone important like that. And speaking of Odegaard, hopefully Odegaard will be back after the international break to take over from Vieira's position. But I'm really happy with how he defended after that red card because thankfully it was 3-1. Because at 2-1, it could have got a little bit dodgy. But at 3-1, I felt comfortable that with 5-10 minutes left, including added time, we were going to shore out this victory here and get the 3 points, which is exactly what we needed, to be honest with you guys. Exactly what we needed. Because, look, since the international break, the previous one, we played Chelsea away, we played Sheffield United at home, Newcastle away, and Burnley at home. Burnley and Sheffield United have been bankers for 3 points, thankfully, but I still do think that the Newcastle away and Chelsea away, we performed badly in like those away games. So we really need the 3 points today. Obviously, overtaken Tottenham now. They seem to be dissolving into nothing after their injuries. So that's good. One less team to worry about. Our sights are set on Man City, who play tomorrow against Chelsea, which will be a superb game to watch live on Sky Sports tomorrow. So yeah, guys, I'm delighted with how it turned out, to be honest. I still think we need to start games quicker. Make no mistake about it. I still think we need to be on the front foot earlier in games because I think, again, today it was just a little bit slow to start. We have the handbrake up too often, I think. Like last season, since minute 1, we were on fire, man. It's like we had like a sugar rush, adrenaline at the start of the games. Whereas now, we start games very controlled and reserved. We start games that we're trying to control it from minute 1, which fair enough. Yeah, it's a good gameplay, but we're playing too much like Man City now. Man City do the same thing. They try and control games from minute 1, try and grind out victories, no matter who they play against. And yes, they'll win like 5-0, 6-0 on occasions, but they'll grind out that win still. As in, like, they'll play very conservative and very, very like methodic in a methodological standpoint. I don't even know if that was English right there. But you know what I mean? They're very controlled the way they approach games. Whereas us last season, we were a bit fast and furious. We would just attack and try and blitz teams. And I enjoyed it. I thought our football was much better last season than it is this season, in my opinion. But that's just one of those things, right? Hopefully we go back to the old days of last year where we are a bit more cutthroat and a bit more attacking teams and a bit more adventurous from minute 1. But look, I can't blame us too much. We managed to get the wins there, and that's the main thing. And it was a deserved victory. I don't think we were our vintage Arsenal best, but we were definitely deserving of the 3 points in my eyes. And a couple of really good performers in there as well, I will say. But let's get into your comments before I touch on that. RD12, appreciate you joining Sean for doing really well. Solid, yeah, I agree. Solid performance. Got the result as well. Really delighted. And it cheered me up as well because I don't know if you can tell with my voice, but I'm a little bit ill right now. I feel I've caught this new COVID variant. So I've basically been bedbound this whole weekend. But yeah, I'm happy that we got the wins there. And I wasn't planning on doing a video to us because I was that sick. But Arsenal winners cheered me up for an absolute fact. I don't think that is a red for Vieira. The foot is high, but the contact is not clear as day. I hear you, RD12. It's definitely not for me, it's not a stonewall red card, but I think in this day and age, a red card's a red card for those type of challenges. We've seen similar things happen. For example, the Destiny Udogie challenge last weekend against Chelsea, where he went in with the stud showing, but because Sterling jumped out the way, they didn't give a red card. I feel like this was something similar. I think a contact was made, but it wasn't like a straight flat-on contact. It was a bit more of like he grazed his leg rather than actually like planting his leg. So yeah, I think if the ref gave a yellow, I don't know if they would have given a red card for it, to be honest. But I do think that it wasn't enough in my eyes. Sorry, I think it was enough in my eyes in this day and age to get a red card because the red card threshold has definitely decreased recently. This season, I feel like you can get a red card for the littlest things. And in other occasions, you're not getting red cards for ones that should be red cards. You look at Kovacic a month or so back against Arsenal. He escaped 2 challenges where first one definitely should have been a red card. And if not, the second one should definitely been a second yellow. So I feel like the chances to get red cards nowadays, the threshold's definitely decreased. It's yellow, but not straight red. I think it's a debatable one, to be honest. Zinchenko man the match for me, yeah. I think Zinchenko was definitely up there. I thought if I look at midfield as well, I thought that Rice had a decent game, but when does Rice not play bad? To be honest, I think Rice is superb. Saliba was okay today, scored his goal, but I thought other than that, I thought Gabriel also had a decent game as well. I agree with you, Zinchenko's man the match overall, though. I will say, I thought Saka was quiet. Saka was definitely quiet today. Still bad at set piece, Bobby. Appreciate you joining the stream. I think I'm doing really well. Do you mean bad at attacking set pieces? Because I do think that. Look, we saw 2 goals from set pieces today, which were really good overall, right? But I will say I I do hear. I feel like we need to convert more of them. Convert more of them for an absolute fact. I think we're not scoring enough goals from open play as well. Does anyone else think this? I feel like we score from set pieces, fine, and we score from penalties, of course, but we're not scoring enough goals from open play where we're just cutting teams open with fast, free-flowing football, breaking down low blocks. Like against, they were playing against what's it called? Burnley today. I almost forgot the team's name, bro. We were playing against Burnley today, right? And we scored our goals from, rather than actually like free flowing from breaking down a low block, we scored our goals from crossing the ball in and Saka knocking it back across goal to Trossard and from 2 set pieces. We didn't exactly cut Burnley open today, which will be a bit worrying for me. Obviously, it doesn't matter because a goal's a goal, and the only thing that matters is the 3 points. But I still think this season we're not quite at the same level of last year. Does anyone else agree? Last season, we were cutting teams open. It was so fun to watch. Like, last year, guys, was my favourite season as an Arsenal fan in my lifetime. I'm 21 years old. I first started watching Arsenal in about 2007 when I was 5 years old. Last year was my favourite ever season as an Arsenal fan. It was so fun because every game, we were going for the opponent's neck. Yes, we'd lose some matches. Like, for example, Man City, both matches we lost. And other games, we'd lose matches, right? But every game, we'd go for the opponent from minute one and imprint our style on the team. This season, we're a bit more reserved, a bit more conservative. We focus more on defending than attacking. And yes, fair enough, of course, like it's helping us grind out more victories. And long term, it's probably more sustainable. But I prefer seeing us really go for the opponent's throat, especially against a team like Burnley, for example. Look, when you play a team like Man City, I'm all for defending well and showing it up and playing a bit more conservative, just like we did to beat Man City 1-0 a month or so ago. But when you're playing teams like Burnley, etc., I want us to be at them from minute one. I still felt we were a little bit reserved today. We weren't full gear 5 on the gear stick and pedal to the metal, just flying at them. We still were a little bit reserved. We still had some extra gas in the tank for me. And look, the game before the international break, we shouldn't have stored any back for me. I would have gone straight at Burnley's throat from minute one. But look, I agree with you, to be fair, that Arsenal got the results there, and probably we are a more sustainable team. And if you look at Arsenal, we've got one of the best defensive records. We've conceded the least in XG, the least shots on target. We've got the best disciplinary record, even given the red card today. So our team is more consistent and is probably more sustainable going forward. Because you look at Tottenham, for example. I've compared Tottenham to Arsenal last season, right? In the way Tottenham play this season. Tottenham are free-flowing, but you still look like you can beat Tottenham. They still look like they're gettable. Whereas Arsenal this season, yes, we're less flamboyant going forward and less luxurious going forward, but we do seem better defensively, I will say. I know the goal you can see today was poor, but overall, we do look better defensively. Like, our record defensively does look better this season overall, and we seem definitely more assured defensively. I mean, we've got a clean sheet against Man City, clean sheet against Sheffield United, for example. So we are getting the clean sheets overall in our game. But I do think that we do need to still go a bit more like gung-ho at times. Like, be a bit like last season in certain matches. Certain games be like this season where we are defending better. But in other matches, I want us to go at the opponent from minute one. All of Trossard's goals have all been assisted by Saka. That Trossard link-up is cooking, yeah. And look, that game in midweek as well, I agree, was a superb game in midweek when Saka and Trossard linked up. And again today, brilliant header by Saka and Trossard, body on the line to get a goal, man. Superb. I don't rate Havertz very much, but he's slowly starting to excel in at number 10. It's just his confidence around the box is dead at the moment. Here's the thing. Do you think Havertz had a good game today? I thought he was okay. I wouldn't say he was great today, to be honest, but he set the bar very low for us. Look, Havertz has played, 14, 15 games for Arsenal now in all competitions this season. He scored 1 goal, which was a penalty, to be honest. I can't say it's been a good return on investment so far for Havertz. The thing about Havertz is, right, I just watch him and I just don't see enough urgency in his game. That's the only problem. Do you get what I mean? When I watch other players play like Saka, Martinelli, Trossard, it's very much urgent and instinctive, and they're fast forward and flying with it. Havertz is still a little bit slow. Do you get what I mean? Like, there's one chance where the ball fell to him in the first half around the penalty spot, and he didn't snatch it at all. And I'm not saying snatching it like shoot and just flies over the bar. But have a bit more urgency and really go for it, like lever the ball. And he just kind of like strolled onto it and just hit it. And the Burnley defender ended up blocking it. And it's just those little moments from Havertz where I'm sitting there thinking, like, just offer a bit more, be a bit more urgent with it. He's just a little bit laboured and laborious, in my opinion. And yes, that's his game style and that's what he's like. But I just prefer seeing players that are a bit more cutthroat, a bit more extreme in the sense they go for it, a bit more urgent, they fly at you. Whereas I just think Havertz is just a little bit too laborious in my eyes. PD Predict, appreciate John Shaw. I think I'm doing really well. Massive 3 points. Yeah, huge 3 points, man. I really do appreciate Arsenal getting the victory here today because, look, Burnley's a game you should win, but you know this more than anyone, right? Whenever anyone says you have to win this game, it's a guaranteed 3 points. That's when you're at your most vulnerable, right? Because then anything can happen. Anything can happen. And look, yes, we should have won this game today, but look, we've won one after when Burnley scored. It could have got very dangerous. It could have, but we managed to grind out the victory, got 3 points, and brilliant stuff. We're now level on points with Man City, who go in a tough game away to Chelsea tomorrow. I'll hopefully be recording after that one as well. So stay tuned, subscribe if you're new around here. I'm recording when I'm ill, guys. So I hope you guys can appreciate that. I'm really ill right now. I've been bedridden, but I'll still find a way to get a live stream out for you guys. But yeah, I do appreciate everyone that's tuning. Keep your thoughts going in the live chat. But yeah, get well soon, my brother. I appreciate it, man. I really do appreciate everyone that's sending me the wishes. I've got this new COVID variant, and trust me, guys, COVID is no joke, man. COVID is no joke. It's knocked me out for the past 2-3 days. Knockout Club, I appreciate you joining the stream. I think we're doing really well. Good performance by Havertz. You say he surely is getting better game by game. Okay, look, I won't say it's a good performance by Havertz, but I'll say it was better. He got hooked after like 60 minutes though, so make no mistake about it. It wasn't like he wasn't turning up trees. But I do hear you. Look, Havertz for me, right? The £65 million is not worth it. Let's be real about it. Havertz for me is best when he plays as a number 9, in my opinion. When you're playing against big teams like Real Madrid, Man City, Bayern Munich, etc., and you're not going to have as much of the football. That's when I really like Havertz's game. In his 3 best matches for Arsenal, in my eyes, has been the 2 games against Man City in the Community Shield and off the bench as well against Man City in the Premier League. He played really well in that game. He played really well off the bench against Chelsea as well. When we're playing a bit more direct, Havertz is a really good player because he offers us a focal point with his height, but he also offers us someone that can link up the play. And that's why I really like him. But when you're trying to play him as a number 10, I don't think that's really his game, to be honest. I think, look, obviously, he's better as number 10 by himself rather than as a number 8, but I just don't think that's his game. I just don't think he's the right player to start for Arsenal in our strongest 11. Look, when Odegaard's back fit, I think Odegaard starts over Havertz. I think Havertz goes down to the bench, if I'm completely honest. Trossard is an awesome signing. You can see him playing almost everywhere, bro. Bro, I agree with you 100%, man. I agree with you. Trossard is, in my opinion, one of our most technically gifted footballers at this club. This brother is so good, man. Like, if you look at it in terms of a footballer, he's probably one of our best footballers at this club in terms of technical ability. Like, right foot, left foot, assists, goals. He's so good, man. And he's so consistent as well. Like, let's be honest, guys, right? If you've got a chance, you want it to fall to Trossard. Like, I choose Trossard over Martinelli, Saka, and Jesus and Nketiah, bro. Like, Trossard outside the box, inside the box, right foot, left foot, edge of the box. He's got the most chance of scoring. Even with your head, he'll score as well. So I think Trossard is one of our best signings we've made. For 21 million in this day and age, superb signing, man. And against it, he scored a good goal, getting his body on the line. But I think he played decent throughout as well, Trossard. Drifted over to the left-hand side, right-hand side. Unlucky to not play more games for us as a starter. Avilash, I appreciate you joining the show. I think we did really well. Compare the rapidity and glee with which Oliver gave the red card for Vieira with the red card he never gave to Kovacic. I hope Oliver suffers for years and years in a miserable life. It's a good comment, man. Good comment. But yeah, here's the thing, right? Michael Oliver, so quick to give Vieira a red card, so quick to give 2 red cards between Chelsea and Tottenham. But against Kovacic a month or so ago, brother left his red card at home. He forgot to take his red card out of his pocket. It was crazy, man. But yeah, I give you. Look, I think it was a red card, but it's the inconsistency, right? Because Kovacic should have got a red card as well. But I don't want to go back to old days. So yeah, it's just one of those things. Hassan, appreciate John Schumer for them doing really well. Get Wilson, appreciate it. Get Trish Wilson, you say. Appreciate it, my friend. Hope you do really well, man. Zinchenko goal was a feast. Take care, blood. Bro, I agree with you, man. Anish, appreciate you joining the stream as well from Twitch. Appreciate you joining. But yeah, I agree with you. That Zinchenko goal was superb. And I've seen him do that a couple of times as well, Zinchenko. Where he's done there's that little scissor kick chances. Zinchenko doesn't score a lot of goals. But when he does score, it's superb goals, man. Top tier. And that was another one, man. Really good finish from Zinchenko on his left peg. Edge of the box. And look, I think Saliba probably could have scored just before when he hit the bar from his shot. But yeah, on that occasion, Zinchenko, great finish. And it was a big goal as well, guys, because when we went down to 10 men with 10 minutes left, I don't care who you are, bro. 10 men is 10 men. It's going to be tough. So thankfully, it was 3-1. Because if it was 10 men with 2-1, we could have had a different live stream today. We could have had a really different live stream. Because at 3-1, even with 10 men, I felt comfortable. I felt very, very comfortable. But yeah, I do think, to be honest, that
I was happy it was 3-1 because at 3-1, even with 10 men, I weren't too like, oh my god, we've got 10 men now, we're gonna struggle. I was pretty calm. Like I was like, yeah, fine, Vieira, take your medicine. You're off the pitch now. It's one of those things, but we should be all right because with 5-10 minutes left, we've got a 2-goal advantage. Burnley barely look like scoring anyway. We'll be all right. Hello days, great result indeed. Happy days. Agree with you. Happy days. Glad the international break. Yeah, big result heading into the international break as well because we can get some bodies back. Hopefully we've got Jesus who will be back hopefully very soon. Partey's gonna be back in the new year. Who else? Odegaard hopefully will be back very soon. So yeah, get some bodies back hopefully, which will be important. We got some tough games as well coming up. So some tough games. Man, it's cold today up north. It's all right to be honest in North London, but haven't really left the house because I've been in bed all day, man. I'm glad Tottenham lost. Yeah, and I watched that game as well. I was going to live stream afterwards, but I did not feel up to it, man. I was surprised I even live streamed today, to be honest, guys, because I was not feeling well whatsoever. OG, do you have a cold? Yeah, I have COVID. I have the new COVID, man. New COVID variant. Search up new COVID variant. I've got it, man. I take vitamin D and vitamin C. Appreciate the advice. Appreciate it. Who do you think Arsenal should go for in January, Tony or Osimhen? I feel like we should go for Osimhen, and what are your thoughts? Good question. I personally would go for Ivan Toney because Victor Osimhen, although I think he's a really top striker, I think he will cost more than Ivan Toney, and he's not proven in the Premier League. And I know you could say that about anyone they're not proven in the Premier League. Mbappe's not proven in the Premier League, for example. But I do think that Toney's a safer bet than Osimhen, and he'll cost less money. And the thing about Ivan Toney is, and you could call this very simplistic, but I like players with personality. And I think Ivan Toney's got the right personality for Arsenal Football Club. I do think that to win games, not only do you need really good players, you need really good personalities as well. Look at throughout the teams that have won the title over the years, even the old Man United teams, they were littered with personalities. And Ivan Toney, I think, is the right man to lead Arsenal Football Club up front. He's shown it. He's bagged 20 goals in the Premier League season. He was third top goal scorer behind Erling Haaland and Harry Kane last season. That's no mean feat. That's a superb overall performance from Ivan Toney last season. And I think he's got everything to his game. He's got the hold-up ability. He's obviously already got a green link with David Raya from his time at Brentford. He can link up and get others involved. He can score goals from outside the box, inside the box, with his head, right foot, left foot, penalties. You name it, he'll get it. And you could bank on Ivan Toney scoring you 15, 20 goals a season at the minimum. Guys, genuinely, right? If we do not sign a striker in January, it will be the biggest criminal activity I've seen at this football club. Because guys, we are doing so well this season, right, in terms of points, and we haven't even got a striker. Let's be real about it. Is Eddie Nketiah a proper striker? He's not. Is Jesus a striker? Yeah, but he's a false line A. At B, he's barely been fit, and Trossard is a false line. So we've got so far this season without a striker. It's crazy. Like, if Man City did have a striker, they'd be struggling as well a little bit, man. So, look, I think we've done really well to get this far, but we need a striker to really take us over the edge. Because an Ivan Toney or a Victor Osimhen in January, either one, would be the difference between us going on to win the title / Champions League in my eyes and just finishing second again and not quite being up to it. We got Super Big Arteta. Big up Arteta, man. And fake Postecoglou. Well, here's the thing, right? I watched the Tottenham game, and Tottenham were, until added time, about to grind out a brilliant 1-0 victory away at Wolves. But then again, this is what happened, man. They didn't defend the whole game. And what a goal from Pablo Sarabia, by the way, to get Wolves there, the 1-1. And then Murray Lamina in added time, 97th minute. Fantastic, bro. Brilliant. I watched the whole game. I loved it. Might have to steal Koleosho and Vitinho from Burnley, to be honest. Yeah, Koleosho is a great performer, man. Really good left winger. Vitinho as well, right back, was defending against Martinelli really well. Especially given how, what was the guy's name? Juanlu, the Donny for Sevilla that got ripped apart on Wednesday. So yeah, I thought Vitinho had a really good game for Burnley. And Koleosho as well, superb. Wolves is slightly having a great season. Your thoughts? I agree with you, Anish. I really do agree with you. I've watched Wolves in a few games now, and every single time I've watched them play, they defend decently, and they've got a good style of play. They just can't put the ball in the back of net frequently enough. And to be fair, Wolves also been a bit hard done by VAR decisions. You look at last week, their penalty decision against Sheffield United was dodgy. Against Newcastle, it was dodgy. First game of the season against Man United, it was dodgy for them. Hannah didn't get a penalty last second. So yeah, I agree with you, especially the fact that they're missing Pedro Neto now. I think Wolves could definitely feel a little bit hard done by this season, but I've done really well. I think we should also move on from Partey. His injury record is really frustrating. And also tell your thoughts on who or what positions we should reinforce in January. The Partey one I agree with, because Partey just cannot stay fit. Bro, I've not seen a more injury-ridden player in my time. He gives me Abu Dhabi vibes. Do you remember Abu Dhabi at Arsenal? Brother was never playing football because he was injured, man. Partey, injured. He gets back in against Man City. I'm thinking, yeah, we've got Partey back. Played 15 minutes against Man City. Then he gets injured again. How he get injured after 15 minutes on the pitch? And now he's out till New Year's. So yeah, I agree with you. Apparently, I've heard through the grapevine that Arsenal are looking at Douglas Luiz as their #1 transfer target for January. I like Douglas Luiz. I really do. I think he'll be a decent signing, to be honest. And he's probably proven as well. And I think he will be a good player. But he should be our #1 signing. Because for me, we need a midfielder. Don't make no mistake about it. I do think we need a midfielder, but we need a striker more than we need a midfielder. Like, I would not even mind, guys, if we spent our whole January budget on a striker, like we dropped 100 million on Ivan Toney and signed no one else. Genuinely would not mind. I'd rather sign a striker only than sign a midfielder and a centre back, for example. Do you get what I mean? I'd rather us just sign a striker. But yeah, if you ask me, I would love to see us sign a striker and a midfielder. I'd like to see those two positions get reinforced. Then I think in the summer, I want us to sign a proper backup winger as well, like a Pedro Neto type vibe. But yeah, that's what I would go for in January. I don't really want a leader type striker. Also, I don't really want to rely on a striker for our performances like the Aubameyang days. I hear you, but I do think that Ivan Toney will be that proper striker for us, man. Proper personality up there. He can do a bit of everything. He can link up play. He can win headers, right foot, left foot, get you goals inside the box, outside the box, cool as a cucumber on penalties as well. I think he's got to be the player we go for, man. I think Ivan Toney already has been twerking for us a little bit, man. Let's be real about it. He went on the Stephen Bartlett Diary of a CEO podcast, not affiliated with Diary of a CEO, by the way, in case you're wondering. And no one was wondering that. But you get what I mean? Saying that he loves Arsenal. He said he loved Arsenal growing up, loves their fan base. He said it already before. Thomas Frank has confirmed this. That Ivan Toney has said that if a big club comes in for me, don't get in my way. So Ivan Toney wants to go into bigger and better things. Make no mistake about it. And he deserves it. Look, he bagged 20 goals last season, man. 20 goals. If we had Ivan Toney up front last season, we would have won the Premier League, in my opinion. We would have won it. But look, it's just one of those things. Bye-bye Partey. I'm absolutely sick of him. Selling for 30 million and putting it towards Zubimendi. Yeah, Zubimendi could be a good signing as well, obviously coming from La Liga. The other thing is, right, La Liga plays a bit hit and miss, right? They're a bit hit and miss coming from La Liga because, to be honest, right, La Liga is a completely different style of play from the Premier League, man. La Liga is a bit more slower paced. You get a bit more time on possession. Then when you come to the Premier League, it's a bit more physical. I'm not saying anything against Zubimendi. I've not seen enough of him playing to really say that I think he'll be a brilliant signing or not, because I don't watch much of La Liga. But I will say that I've heard Arsenal fans big him up an awful lot. I'm not going to give my definite opinion towards it because I've not watched enough of him. I don't want to just go based off what people on Twitter say. But yeah, if we do sign him, I'll back it. But I wouldn't mind a Douglas Luiz because I've seen Douglas Luiz play and I like Douglas Luiz's performances a lot. Who would Arsenal sell though? We have to sell. Yeah, but in my opinion, right, I would sell. Personally, I know it's harsh given today's performance, but I'd sell Zinchenko. When Timber's back fit, I'd sell Zinchenko because Zinchenko is bad defensively and I think Timber would be a better defender than him overall. So yeah, I would sell Zinchenko when Timber's back fit. Maybe in the summer though. Who else would I sell? Let's go for the team. Ramsdale will get sold. I personally wouldn't like to sell him, but he's going to have to be sold because he's too good to sit on the bench and David Raya is the #1 player. So Ramsdale will be sold, hopefully abroad, not to like a Chelsea or something. So Ramsdale will go. I think Zinchenko will end up going. If you look throughout the team, I think you got Jorginho who will stay because of his age. I think Partey will end up getting sold. So he'll be another one that's going. I could see, to be honest, if we look throughout the team as well, I could see potentially Eddie Nketiah getting sold if we bring in a striker, to most of you guys, or Gabriel Jesus. I think Nketiah is more likely to go. But yeah, so I think we've got players that can sell for money. Like the players I've talked about, Zinchenko, Ramsdale, Partey, Nketiah. These are not cheap players. Like we could get at least 25, 30 million each for these players at the very least. So yeah, I think we got ample like opportunity to sell certain players, man. Yeah, that's why I agree with Tony over Osimhen, because Osimhen is a great striker, but Tony will benefit us in personality and team play. Yeah, Tony has bagged 20 goals a season in the Premier League. Look, not saying Osimhen can't do that. Definitely he can. I've seen Napoli in enough games to know that Osimhen's a top player. And obviously, with all the controversy going on there, he needs to leave Napoli. Like, you can't be treated that way. The racism that happens in that city of Naples is so bad. Like, regardless of how he performs on the football pitch, racism should never, ever occur in football. But this brother's given you like the Scudetto last season. Him and Kvara were the reason you guys won the Serie A. You haven't won it since Maradona left that football club. And you treat him like this, that's how you pay him back. It's just disgusting, man. Same thing happened with Koulibaly as well when he was there. So yeah, I think Osimhen needs to get out of Napoli as soon as possible, man. But here's the thing, right? Koulibaly was at Napoli for so long, looked like a top centre-back. Chelsea buy him and he stunk. Season later, he's gone to Saudi Arabia. So you never know what could happen, man. Bro, would you really go for Ivan Toney when he's 100 mil and I'll go for Osimhen, who is valued at 120? I agree that Toney's a proven Premier League player, but I feel Osimhen has that cutting edge. I hear you. I think we can get Toney for less than 100 million. I'll be real. I think 100 million is a bit too much. The only problem is, right, I've heard Chelsea interested in Ivan Toney. And Chelsea don't care about negotiating. They just pay the money, man. Like Chelsea, they don't care about negotiating, man. If you say 100 million, fine, just take the money. They write the check, off you go to the bank. Whereas Arsenal will try and negotiate. Like, it's like the Mudryk deal, right? Arsenal setting 3 bids, 4 bids, try to negotiate on Mudryk. They try and get it for like 88, 90 million maybe, get him under 100 million. Chelsea went, don't care, 100 million, off you go. Do you know what I mean? They signed him literally instantly, man. So I hear you. But I think we can get Ivan Toney for less. If it's just Arsenal and Brentford in the deal, I think we can get Ivan Toney for less, man. I do think. I think 80 million we can get Ivan Toney for. Toney will not sell for 100 mil. I don't think so either, but you never know, man. If Brentford take the piss, we'll buy someone else, yeah. But I don't want to see Chelsea get Ivan Toney because Chelsea with Ivan Toney could be very dangerous. There's a very poor take on Zidane. You think? I think, look, here's the thing about Zinchenko, right? I love him at times. I really do. But I don't want to be harsh on Zinchenko. But let's be completely honest right now, guys. Yeah, be completely honest about it. Man City sold Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus. And they went from winning the Premier League to winning the Premier League again, plus the FA Cup and Champions League. They won the treble selling those players. Because Pep Guardiola figured out 2 things. He figured out, one, no matter how much control I have with Zinchenko on the pitch, I need a left back that can defend, especially when you have players like Rodrigo, like Mohamed Salah, etc. He needs a defender that can defend, number 1. And 2, I don't care how much link-up play Gabriel Jesus has got. I need a striker that can bag me 25 goals a season. And look what he did. He addressed both those positions. He put in a left back like a Kanji/Ake and got a striker like Erling Haaland. And lo and behold, he won. He won everything that there is to win at football apart from the Carabao Cup. He did the treble. Now, if we want to replicate that, we can't do that with Zinchenko in the team. Zinchenko will always be a liability at left back. Yes, in certain matches, he'll be good. Like today against Burnley, good, because Burnley aren't going to be dangerous. Let's be real. They're going to sit back in a low block. But you want to play Real Madrid? You want to play Man City? You want to play Liverpool? You want to play Bayern Munich? Do you really, really want Zinchenko at left back? Be honest. Or would you rather Timber play at left back? I'd rather see Timber play at left back personally. So yeah, when Timber's back fit in the summer, I would sell Zinchenko personally. I would. Moreover, when it goes also to win the Champions League and compete in Europe, I feel Osimhen is the man I'd love to have Toney, but Osimhen's level up. What are your thoughts? I hear you. I definitely hear you. Look, make no mistake about it. Just because I'm saying I personally prefer Toney over Osimhen, it's not like it's, oh, Toney for an absolute fact. Forget Osimhen. It's very close. Like it's neck and neck. I'm just edging it to Toney. And you're right. Osimhen in Europe has been fantastic for Napoli as well. He's got Champions League experience, just like Toney doesn't have Champions League experience. So there's pros and cons for each player. And look, with either, I'd be delighted. With either signing, I'd be absolutely delighted. But look, I'm just being honest with it. I've also heard about Evan Ferguson as a potential option for us. Look, Evan Ferguson could be a really good player. And I've seen signs of him being a fantastic player at Brighton. But A, he's got injury records. And B, he's still got a lot to prove. His ceiling is very high. He's like a Harry Kane type player in terms of his like prospects. But he's still yet to achieve it. And look, in my opinion, we've got to the stage now where we need to go for a big killer. We can't take any more risks. When we were starting the process and we signed players like Ben White, Odegaard, Ramsdale, we were in a state of mind where it's okay to take risks. We weren't fighting for anything big, so let's take risks on players that have got really high potential. That would have been a good player. That would have been a good time to sign a player like Evan Ferguson. But right now, in this day and age with this Arsenal team where we're at the top of the mountain, we just need to get over the edge. Now it's the time to sign a proper striker. This isn't the time to sign a project youth and sign a really up-and-coming striker. Like, I'm hearing these links like Benjamin Sesko and Evan Ferguson brothers. Forget about it, man. Like, I appreciate those players could be really good, but why are we taking risks? Like, spend the money, man. If you're willing to spend 100 million on Mudryk, if you're spending 100 million on Declan Rice, money gets you goals, bro. The striker, like I always say, the striker position is the one position you do not skimp on. You do not go budgeting on a striker. Your striker is your goal scorer, man. That's your guy that gets you the goals. If you want a player that scores 20, 25 goals a season, you need to spend money. You're not getting 20, 25 goals a season for a £50 million player from the Bundesliga or something. Do you get what I mean? Like, just spend the money, bro. Spend the money on a proper striker if you really want it. Why on earth would you sell a player that understands that left-back role perfectly? He does. I agree with you, but is he going to start enough games to be worth it? Is he good enough defensively? That's the problem. Look, I like Zinchenko overall. I really do, but I do think that he gets fouled out in too many matches, to be honest. And I think, look, when we play teams in low block like today, superb. because he understands slotting into midfield. And I do think that actually he should be tried out more in a midfield position for Arsenal in games. But the problem is, right, is Zinchenko okay playing on the bench sometimes? Because the games where he works is Sheffield United, Burnley, Bournemouth, games like that. But Newcastle, I don't rate him. Man City, I wouldn't play him. Liverpool, I wouldn't play him. Man United, I wouldn't really play him. Tottenham, I wouldn't play him. I'd only play him against teams at the bottom half of the table, to be honest with you guys. Every other game, I'd rather Tomiyasu or Timber play. Let's be real. Ramsdale leaving is tough. Raya is on loan. What if we fail to keep it? We will keep Raya. 100%. Look, I don't care what Arteta says. I said it from minute one. Raya is Arsenal's #1 goalkeeper. That's it, guys. There's no two ways about it. No two ways about it whatsoever. Raya is Arsenal's #1 goalkeeper. Because Arteta's come out and said, oh, it's a debate. It's not. He started Raya in every single Premier League and every single Champions League game. It's harsh, but it's true. Raya is Arsenal's #1 goalkeeper. That's how it's got to be, man. So, yeah, I think, look, I don't think Raya's been superb, but I think it is harsh because I've seen Raya play, right? Is Raya better than Ramsdale? It's debatable. That's the problem. It's not like he's brought in an Alisson. If he brought in an Alisson-type goalkeeper, fine. Because the discrepancy in class is miles above. Alisson's the best goalkeeper in the Premier League, in my opinion, with Edison in a close second. But Raya to Ramsdale, if it is a difference, it's negligible almost. Like, I've seen Raya make mistakes, like, for example, last weekend against Newcastle. He didn't punch that ball away. If he punches that ball away, we don't even talk about VAR because the danger's been averted. You get what I mean? Again today, look, I don't think he was at fault for the goal because it was a deflection of Gabriel. But look, like, it's little things, man. It's little things. I don't think Raya's been absolutely unbelievable for Arsenal. Real Poison Super, appreciate you joining the stream. I think they're doing really well. Lucky one, silly boy, go get another Emirates Cup. Zinchenko striker IMO. Come on, man. Zinchenko, what a goal for Zinchenko, though. Arguably one of the goals of the season. But I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you who's got candidate for goal this season. Who saw Wolves' goal today? Pablo Sarabia. Right foot touch, left foot volley, superb goal, man. I agree with you on Zinchenko, but I would not sell him. He's really instrumental in breaking down low blocks. But I think Mikel Arteta saw it and signed Timber. I thought Timber would play with those Madrid games. Exactly. Big games in the Champions League, Timber starts at left back, or Tomiyasu in my eyes. Mbappe to join Arsenal so he can get his first Emirates Cup. Oh, don't tease me, man. Don't tease me with this Mbappe links. I've heard that Real Madrid apparently wants to activate Erling Haaland's release clause from Man City for £180 million. And I've heard that Real Madrid also are not looking to sign Mbappe due to his high wage demands. Boys and girls, Arsenal fans in particular, close your eyes for a second. I'm going to close my eyes. Imagine a front three of Martinelli, Saka, and Mbappe. Oh. If that doesn't give you a semi, if you're a boy, I don't know what will, man. That is absolutely mouth-watering. Mouth-watering. I'm salivating at the mouth thinking of that. Martinelli, Mbappe, and Saka. Guys don't know this, right? Actually, you might know this. My favorite footballer is Mbappe right now. Mbappe, in my opinion, is the best player on planet Earth right now. Not the greatest of all time. The greatest of all time is Messi. Make no mistake about it. But the best player on planet Earth right now, in my opinion, is Mbappe. Better than Haaland in my eyes. Because Mbappe is he's just liquid, bro. Like, he's just electric. Mbappe in the Premier League is what I want to see. My favorite ever Premier League footballer is Luis Suarez. My favorite ever Premier League footballer. Closely followed by Alexis Sanchez. Luis Suarez and Alexis Sanchez are my two favorite ever Premier League footballers. If Mbappe ever comes to the Premier League, hopefully this season, in the summer, and if it is Arsenal, oh my days, I can't see it happening, make no mistake about it, but boy, if we ever get Mbappe comes to the Emirates, man, oh my days. Thierry Henry, bro, I know you've got Mbappe's number, Thierry Henry. For the love of Arsenal, call up Mbappe and tell him, brother, come to the Emirates, man. Arsenal in Champions League, bro, we're the second best team in the Premier League right now behind Man City. Come to the Emirates, man. Lead the line. We're just missing a goal scorer. You come to the Emirates, bro. Oh, my days, fam. Oh, my days. The Emirates could have a capacity of 150 grand and we still would sell it out. We still would sell out if we had Mbappe, Saka, and Martinelli, man. That would be like MSN on. That would be like the brand new MSN, man. It'd be what? MMS or SMM. SMM, I'm calling it, man. Saka, Mbappe, Martinelli, man. Oh, my days. I wish for the days. Zinio low blocks and tricky games where you need someone to unlock things. I hear that. I do hear that for an absolute fact. May bottom the league, but we end up in the Emirates Cup. Bro, you mock it every time the Emirates Cup, man. You mock it every day of the Emirates Cup. Look at Man City, though. Oil club. People can criticize Ryan, rightly so, but I can't lie. He coordinates his box better than Ramsdale. He does at times. I give you that. And look, the defense are warming to him. At the start, it was a little bit like, it was a little bit techie, but they were warming to each other, right? Because the defenders and the goalkeeper, they've got to have a really good connection in there. Really good connection because they're like the heartbeat of the team in terms of like the anchor. So, if you look at it from that standpoint, right, when Raya comes into the team, it's going to be a little bit shaky at the start because the defenders are so used to Ramsdale and Ramsdale so used to defenders. So now you just plucked Raya in there. They've got to get that chemistry back. And I think it's growing bit by bit. Saliba, Gabriel, and Raya, those three got to build that chemistry. I know we didn't keep a clean sheet, but we're starting to concede less goals. Exactly. That's the thing, right? Many will say that Arsenal are worse this season. I don't think we're worse. I just think we're more boring. We focus more on defending and controlling games rather than trying to score. And if it makes us better overall, but we're less fun to watch, unfortunately. But yeah, I do think we're just a little bit. I hear you though when we say that we're better defensively overall, which is more sustainable long term because I always say defense is like the threshold, not the threshold. Defense is like the foundation. It's like the bedrock of your team. If your defense is good, everything comes afterwards. So I do think, to be honest, I agree with you that defense is what matters to most of you guys. Defense is what matters, and you build upon it. But I would like to see us in certain moments be a bit more gung ho going forward. I feel like we do lack the excitement from last season and the flamboyance from last season. We are becoming a bit more like machines like Man City are, where we just results are guaranteed. Burnley today, guaranteed. Sheffield United a couple of weeks ago, guaranteed. Whereas I want to see us be a bit more energetic and flamboyant. Last season was my favorite season for Arsenal. And look, if you think about it, my favorite games to watch Arsenal play was the Man United game at home, Tottenham away, Bournemouth at home, Aston Villa away. Where we got like those last minute goals. You know what I mean? It was really fun to watch. Whereas this season we're a bit more like robotic. And you can say obviously I want to win games, and you can say it's a little bit like selfish to want last minute goals every game. But do you get what I mean? Like it's a bit more exciting last season. Chris, appreciate your sorry, Hasaka hit a crossbar. He did when he shot in the first half at Trafford. What a save, by the way, from Trafford. Tipped it onto the crossbar. It was a good strike from Saka in the first half. Arteta applied to win the Euros for Arsenal. Who do you reckon Arsenal will face the next Emirates Cup? Brother, I don't have a clue, man. Saka hit the crossbar. He did. Another Invincibles Emirates Cup run. I love Saka as a City fan. Saka's brilliant, bro. Saka's a fantastic player. But, guys, I'll be honest with you, right? Saka this season's been a little bit quiet. Saka this season has been a little bit quiet. I want to see him definitely get back to his old self. Oil up, Gunners down. If the reports are true that Real Madrid are not interested in signing Mbappe, I feel we should go all in there. Also, there reports Arsenal's a team that Mbappe would like to join the Prem. Brothers, I would love to see that happen, man. I would love to see that happen, bro. Trust me, I'd love to see it happen. He had a very good save in the first half. Very quick top stop. No shot. I was impressed with him this game. Yeah, Trafford played well, to be fair. Really, really played well. Bro, Arsenal over City is also won the Emirates Cup and City didn't. Scam boxing all the time with the Emirates Cup, man. Personally, I really have a feeling that we would win a couple of silverware. What are your thoughts when you see these days? Teams just give Arsenal their respect like, boy, they would mess us up. Personally, I really have a feeling that we would win a couple of silverware. So you say you have a feeling we're going to win these games? Okay, look. I do think we're very close to winning something. I'll be real. Arsenal right now, we're like, how do I explain it? We're like 99% completed. We're at the point now where we just need to break through that final wall. We've got the team, in my opinion. The team is there. The team's good enough to win a title in my eyes. Bar a striker. The only thing that's missing is a proper striker for you. If you bring in a striker, our team's good enough to win the title / and/or Champions League. It's just about winning it now. And I just want to see if this Arsenal team can go over the edge and win a title. Because Arteta last season, I'll be honest, he should have won it. He should have won the Premier League from the position he was in. Like, you put Sir Alex Ferguson, Arsene Wenger, Jose Mourinho, Pep Guardiola. You put any of these managers in the position Arteta was in April last season, just before we played Liverpool, or at halftime of the Liverpool game, you win the title. Let's be real. We were 8 points clear with about 7 matches to go. Like, you have to win the title from that standpoint. And we boozed it up. We boozed up big time. We bottled it. We ended up losing the title with like 2 games to go. So I do think, to be honest, guys, that we have to smell blood this season. We have to get a little bit of our get back because we can't do what happened last year, which was throw it away like we did, man. Listen, man, you guys can eat a bit better. Didn't you take a literal plate from us on penalties? Hey, look, exactly why the community should have Man City, right? So we've already got a trophy this season that Man City haven't. If you're 8 points up, it's a must win unless your team's Arsenal. Yeah, I'll be real. Look, we should have won the league last season. I don't hide for it. We bottled it. Mbappe loves the Henry comparisons. Ain't it crazy to think he'd want to come here? We're a top club right now, which Mbappe wants, and he fits the bill of play in a core young squad. Who says no? That's what I'm saying, bro. That is what I'm saying, because I agree with you 100%. The Mbappe Henry comparisons, it's there. And look, I obviously, as I said, I'm 21 years old. So I first properly started watching Arsenal in 2007. I only watched Henry when he came back to Arsenal for like 2-3 months from New York Red Bulls in like 2012 or something. We saw that goal against Leeds. So I missed prime Henry, which is obviously a big shame. But if there's anyone that comes close to prime Henry, it probably is Mbappe. In that flair, electricity, man. Just a proper superstar player, franchise player. So yeah, I'd love to see that day happen. Outdoors guy, appreciate you joining the stream. I think it'll be really well. All right, injured player is going to be back after the international break. So Erdogan hopefully will be back. Vieira is obviously going to be missing for 3 games now because that red cards. The other ones we've got, what's the guy's name? Jesus could be back hopefully just before the new year. Partey's out until January. We've got, who else is out injured for Arsenal right now? Timber's out until February/March. And is that it? I don't think I'm missing anyone. Let me know in live chat if I'm missing anyone. Arsenal should be a national team. Arsenal should be a country. North London FC. Partey's gone to January, yeah. Will Real Madrid really go for Mbappe? He's made of clouds one too many times. A club like Real Madrid, they should have some self-respect and not go for him and let him farm in the Farmers League. Not that he's bad, he's just arrogant, but that is the one worry about Mbappe for me. The one worry. Arteta's done really well to get rid of, like, I know we've got superstar players like Declan Rice, like Saka, like Erdogan, like Saliba, but he's got rid of a lot of the egos in his club. Now, I personally think as a manager, you shouldn't try to ship out egos. Arteta's game plan has always been, let's get rid of egos. The Aubameyangs, the Lacazettes, etc. Players like that. He wants to get rid of them. I think the best managers learn to control egos. They don't get rid of egos. They learn to manage egos. Look at the prime Real Madrid, the prime Man United teams under Ferguson, under Ancelotti, etc. at Real Madrid. They all had egos, bro. Ramos, Cristiano Ronaldo, etc. You look back to Man United teams, Roy Keane, Paul Scholes, Ruud van Nistelrooy. Like, these are egos, man. And the top managers actually know how to really do well to manage egos. But Arteta obviously doesn't like that. He prefers to actually ship out egos and just have everyone play a system-oriented style. Now, Mbappe's an ego. Make no mistake about it. He's obviously warranted it because of obviously how good he is as a footballer. But here's the thing about Mbappe is, right? Mbappe is an arrogant footballer. And it's earned. You don't get to the position you are without having some kind of arrogance and swagger and elevated confidence about you. But I do worry, will he upset the apple cart a little bit? That's the only slight worry about Mbappe. But I think it's a risk you have to take, bro. Because make no mistake about it, Mbappe is miles better than Nketiah, Jesus, and Trossard down the middle. Let's be real about it. Aubameyang had the ego and was crap when he left. Safer, like I said. Yeah, exactly. I feel really excited for Champions League nights. We just turned up a different team. I really feel like we are one of the top teams, both on form and quality. I agree with you. And look, to be fair, I think that the group stage is kind of like boring me right now. I want to get into the knockout round, suppose, for you guys. Really want to get into that. Arteta wants a family that plays for each other. Exactly. He wants just 11 players and players off the bench that just all buy into the system. It's not Saka FC or Martinelli FC or Rice FC or Erdogan FC. It's Arsenal FC. Whereas PSG right now, no one says PSG without mentioning Mbappe. That's all you say. Oh, we're watching PSG and Mbappe play tonight. Oh, what's Mbappe going to do? No one says, oh, Koulibaly FC or, oh, we've got a PSG come today. If Mbappe's not playing, PSG are crap. No one watches PSG without Mbappe. Like, if PSG did not have Mbappe, they would be nowhere near Champions League. They wouldn't even be in the Champions League contention. No one would even talk about them. Do you get what I mean? So that's the only thing that worries me. But I think we need a superstar, so it's worth the risk. Apart from the City, I really feel like Arsenal are the only team that are on the same level. You talk about Man City, yeah. I think we're better than Liverpool, guys. I think we are better than Liverpool because Liverpool, look, they're just missing out on a CDM in my eyes. Had a massive argument with some lads on the Discord about Arteta. Are you Arteta in or Arteta out? Here's the thing about Arteta, right? I'm Arteta in. Oh, by the way, is that my Discord? I've not checked into my Discord in a long time. Guys, check out my Discord. It's one of my community tab. It's on my community tab right now. Check out my Discord. I apologize. I've not been, what's it called? Because this isn't on it enough. I need to get back on the Discord, though. Yeah, check out my Discord. It's on my community tab. But yeah, I am Arteta in. I do have a lot of faith in Arteta. I think he deserves what he's done so far. But I don't think we should extend Arteta's contract yet. Arteta's contract runs out in 2025, I believe. If Arteta does not win a trophy, when I say trophy, I don't mean an FA Cup or Carabao Cup. If Arteta does not win the Premier League or Champions League, either this season or next season, I think he has to go. Because you can't be in a pole position in 3 seasons now. Last year, this season, and hopefully next season, and not win a notable trophy like the Premier League or Champions League. If he wins the Premier League or Champions League, renew his contract. That's fair. But if he doesn't win the Premier League or Champions League, I would get rid of him next summer and go for an Ancelotti or a Zidane or someone like that. Do you get what I mean? Like a proper proven, experienced manager. That's just my eyes. That's just my inner. But right now, I'm Arteta in. I'm not going to be someone that says, oh, Arteta out. Look, I'm Arteta in for now, but I'm not just blindly Arteta in. If he doesn't deliver on a trophy, either this season or next season, basically until his contract runs out, I'd get rid in my eyes. I think that's a fair way of assessing it. Actually, quick question to you. What are your thoughts on domestic competitions? People don't rate them, but I feel we should compete on all fronts. Once you win it, it's a title in the bag. I agree. Look, I was annoyed when we got knocked out to West Ham. I was really annoyed when we got knocked out to West Ham in the Carabao Cup. I agree with you. I think if you're in it to win it, no Arsenal fan went into that West Ham game thinking, oh, perfect opportunity to get knocked out of the Carabao Cup, guys. Like, we were there for a reason, to win it. Obviously, it didn't end up happening, but I do agree with you for an absolute fact. I think we should try and win it. But at the same time, I am not personally going to consider winning Carabao Cup or FA Cup as a success. Like, if Arteta wins the Carabao Cup or FA Cup and wins nothing else, I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, what a fantastic season for Arteta. He won the Carabao Cup. My ideology of success is Premier League or Champions League. That's it in my eyes. Even when we won the FA Cups, I'll still be sitting there thinking, all right, it's an FA Cup, but it's still not like the creme de la creme. Do you get what I mean? I'm a man that's been brought up on winning the top trophies about, like the Premier and Champions League. So yeah, I hear you. I'd like to win it. I don't think you should try to get knocked out of it. I think it's a competition you should try and win, but it's always a cherry on the cakes. For me, always go for the Premier League and Champions League as a priority. But that's just my thoughts on it, man. That's just my thoughts. But yeah, I don't lose sleep at night getting knocked out the Carabao Cup. The team we played against West Ham was awful. Yeah, it was bad, bro. That really did. That actually was. I remember reviewing that game live on this channel. And when I reviewed it, I said, boy, that does make our B team look really bad, to be honest. Like, there was a stark contrast between our first 11 and our full B team that day because we were bad. And West Ham played their first team with no shame. Yeah, basically they did, man. Basically they did. But yeah, guys, I'm starting to feel a bit under the weather, so I'm going to call it a day on this stream. I appreciate everyone that's tuned in. If you're new out here, by the way, please do subscribe. I'm on my road to 5,000 subscribers. Hopefully, I'll get a stream out tomorrow as well for the Man City versus Chelsea game. And after that, it will be the international break, unfortunately. But stay tuned. If you want to check out other videos by myself, feel free to check out my personal YouTube channel. I'll comment with it right here so you can see it. It is my actual name. I'll put a comment down below, so hopefully you'll be able to see it. That is my personal YouTube channel. If you want to check out some videos that I've been dropping on all sorts of non-football related content, but I appreciate not everyone cares about that. They only care about football. And if so, feel free to stay tuned here. Subscribe down below. Drop a like down below. Got some last few comments coming through. I feel Jorginho has not been mentioned much. I feel he's really playing good. Good comment, actually. Yeah. Big shout out to Jorginho, because Jorginho this season, let's be honest, he would have sat there, assessed his options, gone, you know what? Partey's in the team. We've just signed Rice. I'm not going to play a lot of minutes this season, but I'm okay with that. And he's played a lot more minutes this season than he would have expected, to be honest, guys, because going into the season, he would not have expected to play this much football. But with Partey basically being on the injury table the whole season, he's played a lot of minutes, Jorginho, a lot of minutes, man. And for an old player, big up him for that. So yeah, I agree. Jorginho's played really well in the minutes he's played for us. I still think we need to sign another midfielder like a Douglas Luiz, but I agree with you. Jorginho, big shout out to you, because not a lot of people will give him a shout out as well. But yeah, he's just one of those people that goes about his business, man. Goes about his business, Jorginho. Get well soon. The channel's growing very quick this week. It's good to see. Appreciate it, young Femi, man. Appreciate it. Yeah. Hopefully, I'll be back feeling a little bit better tomorrow for the stream against Man City and Chelsea. Can't wait for that game. I do feel a little bit better, definitely from yesterday. Yesterday, I was at my worst. But yeah, in the meantime and in between time, subscribe, drop a like down below, hit the notification button so you do not miss any content. I will have some content dropping during the international break, some tier lists and stuff like that, as I usually do. But for my next Arsenal stream, you have to wait till next 2 weeks' time, Saturday, in a fortnight's time, for Brentford versus Arsenal, 5:30 p.m. kickoff. That will be my next Arsenal stream, but there will be content in the meantime. I appreciate everyone that tuned in. If you tuned in just now, I want to hear all about my thoughts on Arsenal 3, Burnley 1. Subscribe right back to start streams. You can hear all about it. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Let's catch you all